For our art time today, we're going to make flatbread. And I can't believe how simple this recipe is. There are literally 2 ingredients. We've got here Greek style yoghurt and self-raising flour. 2 ingredients, really easy flatbread. So you need 220 grams of self-raising flour and 125 grams of Greek yogurt. And then Peter is going to put the flour into the bowl, first of all, with the spatula, nice and gently, so it doesn't go everywhere, so we don't get it all over the place. There we go. Literally, you take 2 ingredients and put them in a bowl and mix them together. That's what we need to do. I know we've obviously weighed out our ingredients. This will make, I think, 6 to 8 pieces of flatbread, so I suppose you could increase the ingredients to make more. And then the yogurt, the Greek yogurt next. Try and scrape out as much as you can there, Peter. Push that out. And we're literally going to mix it up now. I'm using a wooden spoon, but I guess you could use a metal spoon as well. Shall I just have a little go so we can get that extra bit out there, Peter? Because it's a bit awkward, isn't it? Just as you can see, scraping out as much as we can from the bottom of that bowl. Are you ready to do some mixing, Peter?
Yeah.
Okay, go on then. And then we just literally mix it up. And you can mix it all mixed in. I think we might need a metal spoon for this. But and then mix it in. And then you just want to make it much more spoon. You have to have hands in there. How are you doing? Try to spoon now. And say, you use that spoon. Put your spoon in there. Okay, go on. Just keep mixing. Mix it. And you're happy you can mix no more. That's when you put your hands in. And basically creating the dough for our bread. Okay. What do you want it? That's good. Keep going there. It's not looking like breadcrumbs at the moment. And it's not looking much like dough, is it, Peter?
No.
So we need to get it sticking together. I think I need to get my hands dirty now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put flour on the hands. So those stick. And start mixing together on the hands. There we go. And you find it's sticky enough. Just put some yogurt in. I think a little bit more. It's not quite sticky enough. Okay, well what we're seeing here, you can see it's a bit crumbly and I think we need a bit more moisture. So I've got a little bit more yoghurt. Peter, do you want to do a bit of mixing with your hands? I'll put a little dab more and see how that gets on. That's it. That is nice, that is. Do that a little bit more.
Feels like a wet tea towel.
That's really funny. Oh, that's much better, isn't it? That's lovely. Perfect. And you just keep doing that. I think that will do us. And then the next stage, we're going to roll it out. Okay, we have our dough ready. So now what we need to do is flour the board. Peter, could you do that? Put a bit of flour, just lightly flour a board. Pour a bit or use your hands, that's it. And just that'll be enough. And then just squash it around with your hands to cover the whole board. And then you make sure your hands have got flour on it. I might have a go as well because I'll help you get this out. And so what you do is you take this out and Peter, you're going to do a bit of kneading, aren't you?
Yeah.
Just make sure it's nice and don't want to get it too dry. There we go. There you go, Peter. Do a bit of kneading, get it into a ball. That's the plan. So if you break it into half first, Peter. Like if you go into I'll tell you what, actually, if we do half each. And I'll speed up things. So you have that half and I'll have this. And so we break it into, you've got 4, haven't you?
Yeah.
So if I break it into half again, and then break it into half again. And that makes it a bit more equal, doesn't it? And then what you want to do is make them into a bit of a ball as well. And we'll put them to one side. I'm going to put a little bit of flour on here. So we'll put them to one side, shall we? Like that. Oh, I've lost one. Hang on. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that last one, you might as well do that on the board now. So what you need is the rolling pin to roll it out. And we're going to roll it flat into oval shape. So you need a bit of flour on the rolling pin, don't forget. So that doesn't stick. Just take just a tiny bit, Peter, just a tiny bit. Really just a little bit. That's it, just that's it, a light covering. And then roll it out into oval shapes. That's it. Maybe a little bit more flour on because it seems to be sticking, doesn't it? I'll help you out. There you go. You just got to keep doing that from time to time just to make sure it doesn't stick. I'm not quite sure how flat we need this to go. What do you think, Peter?
I think that's probably...
That's an oval, yeah? Should we go for that?
After we've been doing this a while, I think the trick is to squish it a bit first, then do it afterwards. It just gives you a bit more.
That's a good tip. That. So what do you mean? What do you mean squish it here now at the start?
Yeah, and then you just roll it. It means it's a bit easier.
Okay, that's a good tip there from Peter. Squish it first before you roll it. Okay, so here's our flatbread, and the final stage is literally to put it into a hot pan and to cook. I think literally it's only going to take a few minutes either side, 4 minutes, I think. And so we just let that sizzle and heat up. And if you've got a non-stick, you don't need oil, but our pan's doesn't help. You could always go in a griddle, but literally you're just heating them up in a nice hot pan just to finish it off. And then our flatbreads will be cooked and ready to serve. You could have them in the morning, you could have them with pizza, you could have it with curry, and of course these are just plain flatbread, so you could oil it and put some garlic on or different kinds of flavours, but we've just gone for a plain flatbread. Let that cook for a few minutes. And there we have it. These flatbreads, all lovely, nice and cooked, ready to eat. Hope you enjoy making flatbreads.